Imagine billions of miles away from Earth, in the cold, infinite darkness of space, a machine no bigger than a school bus silently drifts, its golden mirrors catching the faintest whispers of light that have traveled across the universe for billions of years. This is NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, the most powerful eye humanity has ever built to look into the past. But recently, this telescope may have captured something no one on Earth was ready to see. Something so strange, so incomprehensible, that for the first time in decades, top scientists were divided, whispers spread through hidden channels, and classified meetings began to take place behind closed doors. Some call it a glitch, others a misunderstanding of cosmic data. But a few, the ones who can barely hide the tremor in their voices, say it's the proof we have been searching for, proof that we are not alone. It all began when James Webb pointed its giant hexagonal mirrors toward a distant star system, one so far away that its light had been traveling toward us since before Earth even had continents as we know them. Astronomers were not expecting much, perhaps a few exoplanets, maybe an atmospheric reading or two. But then, the telescope's instruments picked up something unusual, something that sent waves of electricity through the scientific team. A strange atmospheric signature, one that did not match any known planet we've studied so far. Asterisk at first. It was dismissed, maybe a data error, maybe interference. But when the readings were cross-checked, then verified again with independent analysis, the anomaly persisted. The Webb had detected a chemical fingerprint that was eerily similar to Earth's own atmospheric biosignatures, oxygen, methane, and water vapor, but with one chilling difference: the ratios were unnatural. They didn't match the natural cycles of a lifeless planet. They matched the kind of imbalance that only technology, industry, or intelligent life could produce. Asterisk for decades. Scientists have known that oxygen and methane together are highly unstable in an atmosphere. On Earth, they coexist because life is constantly replenishing them. Plants, animals, even humans. Without life, the balance breaks down. So the question burned in every mind at NASA: if not life, then what? Could something else, something alien, be sustaining this impossible atmosphere? Asterisk, the location only made the mystery deeper. The planet, if you can call it that, orbited its star at just the right distance for liquid water to exist. Astronomers call this the habitable zone, the so-called Goldilocks region where conditions are just right for life as we know it. But this world was stranger still. Its surface readings hinted at massive energy spikes, as if entire regions were lighting up and dimming in rapid succession. Was it storms, volcanoes, or cities? Asterisk publicly, NASA released nothing unusual. Official reports spoke only of exciting new exoplanetary data and further study required. But behind the scenes, leaked emails hinted at late-night video calls between NASA scientists and the European Space Agency, at encrypted transmissions between observatories, and at one particularly disturbing incident, a researcher claiming to have seen artificial structures in the high-resolution Webb imagery before the file was quietly removed from the internal database. Asterisk. Some believe this is not the first time such evidence has been found. Whistleblowers have long claimed that strange objects, unusual readings, and unexplained anomalies are routinely classified to avoid public panic. And now, with the Webb Telescope delivering images of unprecedented clarity, the challenge for those who want to keep secrets has never been greater. Asterisk. But here's where the story turns from strange to terrifying. The anomalous readings from this alien planet weren't static. Over weeks of observation, the Webb recorded changes, massive shifts in atmospheric composition, sudden bursts of light in multiple wavelengths, and a curious rhythmic signal that repeated every 26 hours. At first, scientists thought it was some natural pulsation, perhaps the rotation of the planet or some quirk of its weather systems. But when the data was converted into an audio spectrum, the pattern emerged with unsettling clarity. It sounded deliberate. Asterisk. Those who have heard it describe it as a low, resonant hum, punctuated by sharp spikes, almost like a coded message. No known natural phenomenon produces such a signature. The longer the Webb watched, the stronger the signal became. And then, as if it knew it was being observed, the signal stopped. Asterisk. For 3 days, the planet fell silent. No strange light bursts, no atmospheric anomalies, nothing. And then, just as suddenly, the readings returned, but now, the signal was different, shorter, faster, urgent. Asterisk. It was during this phase that NASA quietly shifted its observation schedule. The Webb, which normally moves on from one target to the next, was instructed to remain locked on the planet for far longer than planned. Time on the telescope is one of the most valuable resources in science, and yet, entire weeks were now devoted to a single world. Whatever the Webb was seeing, it was important enough to break every scheduling rule in the book. Asterisk. When the next batch of high-resolution data came in, at least 2 members of the analysis team reportedly resigned. One allegedly told a friend, "It's not a question of if anymore, it's a question of when." Asterisk. Meanwhile, the scientific community began to notice gaps. Papers that were announced but never published, data sets that appeared in archives for a few hours before vanishing. In astronomy forums, amateur researchers who tracked Webb's public logs noted odd discrepancies, moments when the telescope's pointing data didn't match any known target. Some began to suspect that Webb was looking not only at the alien planet, but at something else nearby. Asterisk. Here's the most disturbing theory so far. The planet itself may not be the true origin of the signals. Instead, it could be an outpost, a listening station, a relay, or something far more advanced. The energy spikes detected in its atmosphere could be the result of massive engineering projects, the kind humanity can barely imagine. If that's true, then the beings who built it are far ahead of us. And if they have noticed our observation, what happens next? Asterisk. To the public, the James Webb Space Telescope is a triumph of science, a tool for exploring distant galaxies. But to those following this particular trail of evidence, it is now something more, a keyhole into a cosmic drama we are only beginning to understand. And the deeper we look, the more one truth becomes undeniable. Whatever is out there, it's not just passively existing. It's aware. Asterisk. And as the images from the James Webb Space Telescope kept pouring in, scientists at NASA grew unusually silent, holding back certain frames from public release. These withheld images, according to inside whispers, weren't just data glitches, they were snapshots of something alive. One leaked frame, described by a source who allegedly saw it in a secured lab, showed a cluster of strange geometric structures floating just beyond the Kuiper Belt, their symmetry too perfect to be natural. Another frame hinted at a shadow, enormous, moving across the light of a distant star as if blocking it for just a fraction of a second, yet with the precision of a controlled maneuver. The public was told it was dust. But dust doesn't move like it has a destination. Asterisk. In the following weeks, NASA's communication became cryptic. Certain scientists went off the radar completely, their social media accounts wiped clean. Then, a document, allegedly leaked from a classified briefing, claimed that radio signals from deep space had been intercepted. But here's the chilling part. The signals were not random. They carried patterns, almost like language, and after decoding, Researchers found sequences resembling prime numbers, a classic marker in CTI research for intelligent origin. But what shocked the decoding team the most wasn't the numbers. It was the pauses in the signal. Those pauses matched the rotational period of Earth. Whoever, or whatever, sent it knew we were here. Asterisk for decades. Hollywood made us think alien contact would come with flashing lights and obvious spacecraft, but reality may be far subtler and far more dangerous. If these structures are truly controlled by another civilization, their appearance near our solar system might not be a coincidence. The James Webb Telescope wasn't launched to find life, at least officially, but its ability to see further and clearer than any human-made instrument before it means that anything unusual can't stay hidden forever. And if NASA has indeed found proof of something artificial, it raises the ultimate question. Are they here to watch or to act? Asterisk experts are divided. Some believe these structures could be probes, sent ahead by a distant species to quietly observe humanity before making their move, much like we send robotic scouts to other planets before risking human crews. Asterisk. Most unnerving part? Every major space agency in the world seems to be monitoring the same sector of the sky right now, but no one is willing to go on record about why. Even amateur astronomers have reported strange readings, unusual dips in starlight that don't match known celestial patterns. It's almost as if the truth is leaking out despite all efforts to contain it. Asterisk. So, is it possible that right now, just beyond the edge of our vision, something alien is watching us through the void? Something ancient, something patient, something that may have been here before, in the deep forgotten chapters of Earth's history. Asterisk. Because if the James Webb Telescope has truly spotted them, then this isn't the beginning of a story. This might be the middle.